The children were examined by many doctors. The 4 children were studied by many priests. The first priest to make a serious study of the events and put it into writing was Father Ramon Andreo. In the fall of 1961, he completed a report based on his observations of what was happening at the time.
That report was everything I did, just saying the facts. And for me, there are facts that I do know how to explain them.
The psychological age of the so-called visionaries during the first month was equivalent to 8 or 9-year-old schoolgirls from the city. Their conduct was good from the moment the occurrences began, according to the judgment of the pastor and the school teacher, and they appeared normal before the vision started, and they continued to be normal when out of the visions. The majority of those who came to Garabandal did not understand the events which were happening there, but they came to have an intuition that something important was happening. The isolation gave the village and its inhabitants a feeling of tranquility and peace. The rosary is said in the church every evening. The 4 children in their ordinary state show themselves to be completely normal, so they appear to the doctors. The 4 children are completely normal to any other observer. The children themselves, after 3 long months of ecstasies and almost daily occurrences, while being awake so many hours of the night, have remained completely normal. They play and converse like the other children, make the long walks to the pastures, do the household chores, and act just as any other young girl of their age and environment. With regard to the marches, they told me, "We go as though we are in the air, as if we are lying down, like in another world, but in the daytime and with the sun." Beginning on August 3rd, the falls in the state of trance increased considerably. Sometimes the 4 together, sometimes several of them, sometimes only one. The position that they adopt in these falls is truly like a sculpture of great beauty. It was not remembered, I certainly have not seen it, that they even one time took a position the least bit indecent or incorrect. They could be on the ground a moment or several minutes. The fall, when several of them were involved, was accustomed to be admirably synchronized and without the least preparation. They formed groupings that were on the whole truly extraordinary. In the Garabandal phenomena, 2 groups can be distinguished. One group consists of the spectators and the other of the young girls. The spectators could see the girls and their manner of comporting themselves, their movements, laughter, words, but they could not see the apparition. The girls viewed the apparition, being in its light, hearing its words, but they did not see nor were they aware of the public. The girls in their vision saw each other. However, if one of them came out of the ecstasy and the others did not, the ones in the ecstasy no longer saw the one who was not in it. If she went back into ecstasy, they would see her. Many reflexes disappeared during the ecstasy. Others remained only deadened. Thus the eyes appeared as if dead, without sight. But in proportion as the visions increased, the eyes appeared to acquire a brilliance in the pupils. The children cried at times with tranquil tears that ran down their faces. These tears corresponded with the times in ecstasy that they learned things and must have been the consequence of what they had heard and seen, since they were then heard to say, "Oh, pardon, pardon, mercy. Oh, let's not do that again. Yes, let's tell them about it." In the beginning, during the first month and a half after June 18th, something happened 3 or 4 times that presented a characteristic of great originality. On coming out of the trance, the girls said, "The Virgin said that Sari and Mary Carmen should come together with us, and others should be far away so that they don't hear what we say." And then the visionaries went up to the pines and went into ecstasy in front of those young witnesses, were able to move as they pleased among the visionaries. These witnesses were 6 years old. We have large fragments of dialogue from the girls in ecstasy. In general, the speech is simple and to the point, with childlike expressions, and gives the appearance of dealing with the happenings of the day or the previous days. Prayer. In the events of Garabandal, prayer has always been the most important thing. Very seldom would there be a vision in which the girls did not recite the rosary or pray a station to Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. The recitation of the rosary is frequently accompanied by song, at least during 1 decade. The girls are not seen counting the Hail Marys. Nevertheless, they never make a mistake in counting out the right number. They say that the Virgin advises them when it is time for the Gloria. The Virgin prays with them, it appears, the part that corresponds to the Gloria. If sometimes they make mistakes or do not do it well, the Virgin nods her head a little to call their attention, though she remains smiling. The Virgin's style of prayer shows much similarity with Lourdes and Fatima, but in this case, beside the devotion to the Rosary, it appears that she wants to bring out the attention that we owe the Blessed Sacrament.